Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, coming at you to tell you a piece of my mind. And, you know, I know this is a lot of videos. I'm sending a bunch of them out there, but we got 17 people that we need to figure out what's going on in their mind. And look, I'll tell you, majority of the people have been very receptive to these videos, and I'm grateful every time that I get the opportunity to do one. So before I go any further, I'm going to introduce our new candidate that put his name in the hat, and we have Mahesh Aitha. Might have said it wrong a little bit, but he'll clear that up. But I'll tell you what, I've noticed in this guy that he does a lot of community work, and if we can put intelligence to a caring heart, I think we've done something. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us why you're running for the Board of Education.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to express my views and my thoughts to the Frederick County. So, and I don't know how much time you are spending to do these all interviews, but you are doing tremendous job. And this is I would like to see people coming forward to give their time to give a candidates to express their views and opinions. But yeah, thank you for doing that. So yeah,
Thank you.
Let me tell my name. So I am Mahesh Aitha. I'm a Frederick County. I live in Frederick County. So we live in Urbana. I moved here around 6 years ago. So when me and my wife moved, when we are trying to find a house and everything, so we found a place to live, and but we were not sure whether we are going into the right place or not, because we did not have a kids at that time. But we are glad we came to the Frederick County, because this is one of the fastest growing country in the Maryland right now. And we blessed with the boy. So we have a 3.5 years old boy now, who is going to the Frederick County Public Schools at Twin Ridge Elementary School. He is in a Pre K-3 program. So we blessed to have a family and happy life. So when we are happy and everything, right? So my goal is to give the same happiness to the community by doing the community service and involving in any service activities, and helping the kids in the neighborhood, and it could be outside the neighborhood in the county. So what I do for living, I'm a scientist. So a little bit background about myself before I get into why I'm running. So I raised I raised by my parents, so who couldn't able to afford the high school education because of their economic condition. Both my parents did not finish their high school, but they determined, they did they worked hard to make sure me and my siblings would able to finish get the best education what we ever could get. So my both sisters had a master's degree, and I fortunate enough to have a the doctoral degree from Miami, Ohio. Then I went to pursue my post-doctoral research at Penn State. Later on, I am working as a preclinical drug discovery scientist in a government organization. I do nonprofit. I mean, it's a nonprofit organization. So everything, life is set. So we bought a house, and we have a son, and family is set and everything. So then it's a time. So what is the purpose of this life, right? So it's not about we are happy. It's about seeing the community happy. Then I started so when we moved here, the main concern I'm hearing in the community is the developers are not great, and there are issues in the neighborhood, and the people are not going along, and there are always have a social media the fights and wars. So then I started involving a little bit with the homeowners association. Then I went into the communication committee. Then we established this newsletter, and we started to straighten up some of the communications. Then up from there, then we were going into the deficit budgets as a HOA. Then I went into the finance committee. Then I became a finance committee chair. Then we brought the finances from a deficit budget to the surplus budget right now within 2 years. Later on, I went in to run for the homeowners association board. I'm a treasurer and current homeowners association board. So then, again the same thing. So when I see a problem, when I want to bring some harmony in the community, then I step up and I stood myself, and I I proven to get the things done. The same thing. Then in the area there are as I said, Frederick County is the fastest growing country in the Maryland right now. So if you see there is so much diversity also going on. There are so many people from different cultures with different the traditions are coming into the county right now. So I worked with the nonprofit university, which is California based, called University of Silicon Andhra, to set up a language school in a Sugarloaf Elementary. So this is the first year. We have a 70 students enrolled in, and we operate the Saturday morning 10 to 12 o'clock the classes. Then we have a 15 to 20 volunteer teachers. So it's a pretty established school right now, and we are working with the Frederick County Board to get the language credits for them to when they finish the courses here. So that way they can be able to get their courses. So when I see my son is going into the Frederick County Public Schools, right? So I would like to help whatever expertise I have and my organizational skills I have to Frederick County Public School to bring the high quality education to every child in the Frederick County. That's my only goal. So bring the high quality education to every child in the Frederick County. So to do that, you need to have a good educators, which are the school teachers, administrative, and the supporting staff. So you need to make sure they are well compensated in the salary wise compared to the other counties here around, and you need to take care of them. You need to establish a supportive and the good environment where everybody can function with respect and dignity, and it's bringing the pretty good high quality educators and bringing the diversity, as well as bringing the new technologies, which where even in the classrooms, or it could be in showing into their career path. It could be anything. We should have a state of the art technology in the Frederick County. So all of our facilities should be renovated. If there is a facility which is old, that should be renovated, because no child should be left behind. Every child, every school should be have a best technology and best education they possible we could ever give.
Okay, very good. So you have a lot of different hats that you're wearing.
Yeah.
But the question that I've been hearing a lot is, how do you know how to run a $1 billion budget? Like what gives you the background to make the decisions to cut this, put this in, and make it to where these teachers can make money and love what they do, and the kids enjoy being at the school?
Exactly. So yeah, that's a great question. So when you see the finances, right? So I have some experience with the finances. That's when I went into our homeowners association, which is a couple million. It's not a billion, but when you see the things where we can cut so what we did was, when I see the problem with the budgets, right? We renegotiated the contracts. We make sure if something is not making sense, or if something doesn't need, then we cut it down. Then we added the value. So when you go to the renegotiation, there will be competition, right? So then you put it up for the open bid. Then you bring it and you review the contracts, and you see what makes sense and why you need it. Then that's how you cut the unnecessary expenditure of the association. Then you built into the surplus. So this is again, it may be different with the $1 billion finances. It's not be the same with the homeowners association, but I'm giving you I had a proven experience with able to get the things done and bringing the turnaround and going into the positive direction. So you work with so now in a school association, so we have several committees. So we have a finance committee, we have a curriculum committee. So and we have a superintendent, and we have a school supporting staff. So you work with everybody and have a meeting and see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, and where we can able to get better. And also the other thing, we could ask for advocate for more funding, because our school system is the fastest growing, but not the other counties around. So we should get more funding compared to the other counties, because not every county is going the same speed as we are.
Okay. So tell me this, what if you get to the board And I know for me, it runs me hot when someone says, that's just the way it goes, or that's the way we've always done it. What if you come into face to face with that type of mindset? How are you going to get around that?
Sometimes in public, I don't engage in public engagement. So when I see the things, sometimes I, even though I, like I say, but we can have a private like a meetings and explain my point of view, see how it can be done. So I'm a guy who approach the problem with the practical approach. I would like to see the real case example where I will do the research, make sure where it is done, how it is done, and everything, and we can give them the detailed scenario how it can be done. Then I will try to convince the other party how to do the things.
Okay. What about special education? What part of your background is going to help us with special education? Because we've already been faced with many,
Exactly.
many different opinions. We've been bashed nationally because of the way that we handle children with special needs. What are you going to do about that situation?
So special education is an important topic for me, and without a question, every child has to get the high quality education that includes the special needs, the children too. So this to special education. So we cannot put all the special requirements children into the one classroom. So we need to segregate based on their needs, and we need to see the what the modern tools available to teach them, and we need to categorize based on their like a needs. Some kids cannot able to speak, but that category shouldn't be with the some kids completely function, I mean, speak and able to we listen and everything. So we should categorize based on their special needs, and we need to provide the transportation, and we need to make sure they are provided the well education available.
Okay. Um, there's been a lot of talk about, diversity, inclusion,
Yeah.
even seclusion for some of the special ed kids. But what is your take on trying to bring everybody to a basic level of understanding in the world of diversity?
Yeah, so the Frederick County schools are diverse. It's like if you see the demographics, it's pretty diverse. So that should reflect in the the school support staff and teachers and the administrators. At the same thing, so the special education. So the question is, you're asking the special education and the diversity, you mean, or either
No, I'm talking about diversity of the
positive?
school. Like, how are you
Oh,
going to bring in teachers that look more diverse
exactly,
or make it into a more
exactly.
healthier environment?
Exactly. That's what I want to see the diversity, because when you have a school with the the different cultures, different diversity, you want to make sure that reflects in the school employees as well, like teachers, it could be administrators, and so that way it makes the balance, right? It makes the the balance. Then it reciprocates the students as well as the staff to make more inclusive environment. And also working with the diverse people can bring their cultures different and everything, so you get to learn from each other and you grow together as a harmony. So diversity is a the if you know how to embrace the diversity, it can do miracles for you.
Okay. Um, Vouchers is a major conversation right now because it's something that Frederick County can do without any outside entities chiming in for the most part. But what if a parent just does not want to send their kids to a public school, but they want to send them to a charter school or homeschool? Do you believe that the money should follow the kid? Or do you think the money should follow in the district?
So my goal is to make the every public school as equal to the charter school. So you invest in the school system to make it so rather we are spending the money to the in a individual student or anything. I want to put the money to make the public schools the best they can. So none of the parents should like think about going into the charter school. So let's invest like no. So what brings the school like a more the best schools? It's about the teachers, right? So you invest in like a mentoring the teachers, and you the recruitment drives, and like a people teachers or educators from the Frederick County driving all the way 1 hour 2 hours in different places to teach. Why? Because those counties paying more to the teachers compared to our county. Why is the case? Why is the case? Because it shouldn't be, right? So somebody living in a Frederick County driving far away to teach, why can't we retain them? I mean, we should look into making our schools stronger, the public schools stronger. I understand the charter schools and stuff. So yeah, you can send your kid there, but that's only solves that family problem. But it's not solve the Frederick County problem. I mean, you need to make the public schools the best as the charter schools.
Very good. One more question that I just have to ask this is that what do you think about discipline? Because I mean, bullying, like let's just take bullying for
Sure,
example.
sure.
We know that it has harm for mental health. We see the harm in it in growth of of a child. It can it can even stump their emotional growth.
Mhm.
What are you going to do if you make it to the board about disciplining the children and bringing back some kind of order in the schoolhouse?
So discipline is the primary thing in my life. I mean, to me, discipline is a first thing, the fundamental thing. So I grow up with the discipline and I follow it. But in the board to bring it to the school, it's not in my thing, right? So you need to make sure the kids get disciplined. So, but it's not a one day thing. You need to design some programs where after the school also they can able to engage with some STEM related courses, or like the middle school to high school. But if you go to the younger school, some art or some other programs even in the summer to make sure the kids get engaged, and you then they can able to after school or even the weekends they can have something to go on, rather going into the multiple directions where we don't want to see them into going. And you need to talk with the parents all the time, there are pretty strong PTAs available. So from the PTAs, so they maybe teachers or maybe some supporting staff, or we can have some volunteers recruited to see a group of kids what their progress is and what they are doing after the curriculum, maybe in the their free time. So at least we should have some continuous dialogue where we can do this with some pretty good volunteer mechanisms. We can have people who are the in the society, who community oriented people, we can get their help to set up some setups like that, so we can train these kids even after the school too, so that way they are engaged with something, they cannot go into those groups. But make them disciplined, it won't happen in a day, but if we start, but it will happen, we will see the results. To give an example, I mean, right now in our language schools, right? We teach the language to the kids. And a day one, none of the kids English when they start, they only speak in English. But the teacher can give them little tasks, but day by day, day by day to increase. So, but over the time, you see the difference, you see the change.
Hmm.
So we need to design some pretty good programs, like inside or outside, working with some non-profits or the voluntary organizations to make sure the kids are engaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you going to help the teachers? The teachers are feeling overworked. They feel stretched thin. I could just imagine what a Friday night looks like to them, just getting a day or two off. How are
Yeah.
you going to help the teachers help their mental health?
So teachers, where I grew up and I went to the school where we treat teachers with utmost respect. So the teachers are the ones generating the next generation in their classrooms. We got to make sure they have a pretty good work-life balance and they are not pressurized, because if they are under pressure they can't deliver, because they need the teaching is it's not something you go to the job and come back. You are making a kid's life. So we need to understand, the school board or anybody, we have to understand, even the parents, even the community. If somebody is teaching, that means they are giving their life to train the other kids, to make the next generation. if they don't have a passion, they don't teach because they can do some other profession. But if somebody is teaching, they are putting their efforts to make the kids. So we got to make sure we understand the teacher's problem and we need to help them. We need to find the ways. So if if there is a if there is a routine or if there is a already established program, but if that doesn't giving any the useful information to the school board or it's not getting any betterment, we need to see whether it's really doing anything. If it is not adding a value to the school system, we can get rid of those programs. There are so many of them. I mean, I'm not saying all of the programs you need to get rid of them, or all of the teachers' responsibilities needs to get. I'm not telling that, but we could give them. We should offload the teachers so they can focus on the teaching rather than administrative things and everything. So teachers should be given a free hand to teach.
So what I'm hearing is you want them to be able to teach what they're good at, and I mean, it's getting to the point where it seems like they're just teaching for a test or some standards
Exactly.
or outcomes.
So the conceptual teaching is the one makes the kids rather than memorizing you memorize the stuff and you go to the test and you do it, right? But when you learn the concepts, then those will come with you along the way you go. So I understand teachers have methods the tools and everything to teach, but there is a natural teacher in them. So if they think something is make the kids to learn the concept well, they can able to teach that. I mean, we shouldn't you're not supposed to teach the kids this way or that way. I mean, they can follow the curriculum, they have all the tools and they're teaching. But if my teacher wants to teach me the way I remember, because each kid is different, it's not all kids are the same, right? So each classroom is a different. So
Very good.
teachers should be given a freedom to teach their class.
Very good. So look, there's 17 people. Everybody's vying for votes.
Of course.
What is it about you that should make somebody just hit that button to vote for you?
My dear Frederick County residents, if you would like to bring the high quality education to your child or any child in the Frederick County, you vote for me, because not only that I went to the schools and I have higher education or anything. I'm not saying that even though I have it, but make sure every child in the Frederick County gets the high quality education. So I have a proven record that I can able to work with the finance. I can able to work with the finances, and I can able to work with the budgets, and I can able to do the community service, and I can able to work with the organizations. I build the organizations, and I work for nonprofits. So I have a proven record, and I'm asking you, Frederick County, please vote me. I'm here to help every child in the Frederick County, and I'm here to bring the high quality education to every public school here in Frederick County. Thank you.
Hey, I thank you very much for coming on. I hope that I'm able to help you get some votes coming your direction, because it's very hard in campaigning. It's hard to go knock on every single door, but I just wish you luck, work hard, and give it all you got, because it's all for the kids.
Thank you. Exactly. And thank you for doing it there.
Thank you.
Thank you.